Okay, so I'm not wearing any makeup, but you know what? For the last few videos, I haven't really given too much of a crap of what I look like. You either are listening to what I have to say, or you skip ahead to another video. If I'm not physically appealing to you, well then that's your problem. The whole reason I come on here is to share my experiences and any of the wisdom I've gathered through my own pain, my own trauma, and try to share that with individuals I think may need that, or just to hear that somebody else is going through the same shit. One of the things I wanted to talk about was I used to find myself a lot taking responsibility for other people's energies. And by that I mean, when you walk into a room, you feel the energy shift, or you're happy and then you leave drained and tired. Well, the same can be, I think the same can be said about interactions you have with other people. When you're talking to somebody and you're picking up energies from them, it's the unsaid, the things that they don't want to share with you, the things that they want to not say. If they feel awkward, or they feel they want to say something but they hold back, or if they feel worried about something or concerned but they don't say anything. These are the things myself personally, I'm sure there's other people in the world that have this ability as well. I'm able to read people, and it kind of messes with me a little bit, because not only am I taking my own emotions and energies into consideration, now I have somebody else in front of me, and if their actions or words are not lining up with what I'm sensing or what I'm picking up on, I read that and I can pick up on that. And so what I've been struggling with is my reaction to that, because I wish so much for people just to be them genuine selves, like just to not hold back and obviously not be cruel or nothing, but just be open enough to share what they need to share, in order so that there's no miscommunication. Because I used to find myself constantly apologizing and taking the blame on, when yes, my own actions, how I react, is my responsibility. I take accountability for that, but it's really frustrating when it comes to wanting to have relationships with people, or what would be a friends, family, you name it, and when it comes to them being stubborn in the sense that they won't say what it is they need to say. And it creates a lot of conflict for myself. I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, but it creates a lot of conflict because I already know, but I don't know because you won't say. So it was the same with when growing up, even if I was, a certain way and people thought I was yet like naive, or mentally, what's that word? Mentally handicapped, however they would see me as, slow. I pick up on everything, I just didn't say it because the other person doesn't say it. And I think this stems back from my childhood. When I did say it, I say what people are thinking or how they feel, or I mention something and it freaks them out or makes them uneasy or even more insecure, because it's almost like they're being called out for it, when really that's not my intent to call anybody out on it. As a child, I used to just say shit. I didn't think twice about it. I thought it was normal. So now, as an adult, and through this whole experience especially, I just had a situation, and I was apologizing, found myself apologizing for my own, feelings. I was trying to explain my feelings, and then somehow it just was all pinned on me, and I was like, wait a minute. No. I was like, you know what? It's hard to explain, but I'm going to fucking explain it. The energies that I'm picking up from another individual, this other person in particular. The energies I'm picking up, I can sense that. So when you're not telling me all you need to tell me, or you're holding back, or you're not being your genuine self for whatever reason it may be, for fear that maybe I'll judge you, or maybe, being vulnerable is too much, whatever the reason may be, it messes with me. And then I have to take on both. Not just my part, but I'm also taking on the other person's part. And then I'm responsible for how I react to it. I could just disregard it, but then that to me is lack of communication. There's lack of understanding. There's more room for error, more room for misunderstandings. There's more room for shit that's not said. There's more room for conflict. I don't want conflict. I want to be able to speak to people and them to speak to me, and there not to be anything unsaid, because unfortunately, I don't know however many people are able to do this, but if you understand what I'm saying, it's frustrating when you're picking up on something that somebody's not saying. It's like you're aware of it. And yeah, energy is real. The unsaid, the unspoken is real. And I would really like to see people being more honest, not just about like the situation, just with themselves too, so that they could do that with other people. And I understand it's not easy. I understand it is a challenge. And I think that's one of the reasons I pull back my energy so much from people around me, is because I was just tired of having to speak for both, or just having to take it all on, and not being able to just be my genuine self because somebody else is suffering in some way that they want to maybe project that on me, or maybe they feel their own insecurities a certain way, and then I pick up on that, and then I feel a certain way, even though I was fine before. But then after interacting with somebody, I don't know how else to word that. Anyway, so if you've experienced this, just know that it's a thing. And yes, you can try to not call somebody out, but maybe ask them. I'm still working on ways to approach how to do that. I've done it a couple times, just openly say, I noticed this reaction, or this way you're talking to me. Is it because of this, or do you maybe feel like this? And I have to be careful how I word it, and be sensitive about it too, because I'm trying to approach things from the stance that we're all human beings. So I understand that you could have whatever feelings, and that I'm not trying to make you feel bad for it. I want the even ground and the understanding there, not to just point the finger at somebody necessarily. Try to see where it comes from and get the understanding. So if that's helpful to anybody, great. And if not, well, at least I could say I tried to explain this part.